emotional eating can sabotage your weight loss efforts. It can often lead to more depression as it could induce an unhealthy lifestyle. Comfort eating is also known as emotional eating. So if you're wondering if you are a comfort or emotional eater, here are some signs to find out. Ask yourself, do you eat more when you're feeling stressed out? Do you eat when you're not hungry? Or when you're full? Do you eat to make yourself feel better when you are sad, angry, bored, or anxious? Do you reward yourself with food? Do you regularly eat until you are stuffed? Does food make you feel safe? Do you feel like food is your friend? Do you feel powerless and out of control around food? These are some telltale signs to find out if you are a comfort or an emotional eater.
Thank you so much.
So Sol, would you consider yourself to be a comfort eater, or do you know anyone that is?
Me personally, I wouldn't count myself as a comfort eater. I eat for the sake of eating when I'm hungry, and that's it. When I'm full, I can't put any more food in my mouth, should we say. Yeah, it hurts my stomach, so I wouldn't.
You're always eating. Whenever I see you eating. So, yeah, I thought maybe it was for comfort. It's maybe just like food. I don't know. Maybe you're a foodie.
Maybe, but like I said, I only eat when I'm hungry, but not when I'm full. You know the signs that you're saying when you're full and so on. I know you mentioned a few, but yeah, I like I said, I only eat when I'm hungry and that's it. But I do know someone, my wife. I think she's a comfort eater. She can eat even when she's full. She goes, I'm full, but I want to eat more. So there's that. So I know I'm not a comfort eater. Compared to her, she eats a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a comfort eater. I can eat when I'm full. I mean, the bit about does it make you feel good, or the junk food, definitely. I don't know if that's part of comfort eating. I
think junk food has additives, isn't it?
Sweets. I've got sweet tooth, as you know, so I tend to, I'm not thick, so I'm not sat there consciously thinking, oh, this chocolate is going to make me feel good. I just do it and I feel good afterwards, and then maybe I regret it, think, oh, I've had too much sweets today, or too much snacks. I have cut down, but I'm not sure if that's actually comfort eating.
Comfort is, I think the way I look at comfort eating is like you eat because you like food. When you're stressed, like you're mentioning, these are telltale signs. When you're full, it's your go-to. When you're upset and so on.
Yeah, but it can get out of hand quickly. So I've got a friend who is known to comfort eat, and he's actually quite obese now. Like, he's just piled it on, and I don't know if he's picked this up from childhood, or he's just recently started comfort eating. But since he started his business, since he's got married, become a father, that's where the dad bod comes from. I think a lot of men do tend to eat for comfort reasons, whether they're aware of it or not. So this particular friend I'm talking about, he's obviously admitted to me that he's just got help when he's stressed out. He just turns to food to make him feel better. So he's really piled on since becoming a father, and obviously doing his own business and whatnot.
I think when you settle down, and I'm assuming this in most cases anyway, when you're in a decent relationship, every relationship varies anyway, but when everyone's content, then you pile on the mass anyway on your body. That's my.
I thought it would be reverse.
Why?
I thought it'd be reverse. I thought it'd be, if you're not happy, if you're not, because you're stressed, because your situation's not good, so you look for comfort from food. You look for happiness from food.
I agree with that, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, when you're happy, you're not going to eat as much. You eat, but you don't. You let yourself go, should we say, in that sense. Talking about the dad body, like said, the dad body. Avoid the comfort eating question. it's another topic overall. The dad body I'm talking about, what he's born. I don't know him, so I don't know. I can't comment. All I'm trying to say is that
there's a thing called a dad bod. Where do you think
yeah,
it
no,
comes from?
I get you. Yeah, they
Where's
do
that?
say that you usually get that when you get married.
Why do you think that is? Do you think you
My
just let yourself
assumption
go?
is, sorry, yeah, you let yourself go. To be honest with you,
Because you think, from a male perspective, it's like, well, I found my wife now. I found my, my mate, my partner, whatnot. I don't need to try now. Do you think it's that?
yeah, and you're content.
Right.
That's the
okay.
thing. Now, comfort eating is different else. Like you said, when you're stressed and all that, you're gonna pile it up in that sense. But that I was talking about two different topics. That's all.
Oh,
my
okay. So
conclusion.
yeah. So okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought maybe some emotional reasons as well for the dad bod, but I think it might just be that way. You just think, you know what, I've got them. She's gonna love me regardless how I am. So
Yeah.
I can just. I don't know who I'm trying to impress.
Yeah.
Some people have
That's
that
it.
mindset. So I don't think you should be like that, but that's how it is for a lot of people.
That's what it's called, comfort eating.
Yeah. I mean, we're saying comfort eating, but like we said, it's also known as emotional eating. It's almost like a hunger that can't be filled with food. So you're eating in the moment just to sort of like have good feelings, which is triggered by stresses of life. And you often, like I said, feel worse because you know it's really unnecessary consumption. And then you might just beat yourself up about it, thinking that you don't have enough willpower because you can't stop it. Like just mentioned, my friend, he wants to stop. He actually knows it because it's affecting his health now to a point where it's becoming a concern. Because obviously added fat brings a lot of health issues, and he's only in his early 30s, so he just feels like he needs another coping mechanism because he just turns to food every time.
Talking about comfort eating, I think it could be emotional. I mean, I can think of one example. My brother, he loves to eat, but I think it's more emotional through childhood.
Oh, so he's always been like that since it.
Yeah,
since child.
he's always been like that because since my mother passed away, that might be his comfort aspect, going to food and eats. So that's what I can think of. Another example of what comfort eating is.
So what about your wife? Has she had that since childhood, or is that something like after?
I think it's child, to be honest with you. Yeah, because she's telling me some stories that whatever her brother didn't used to finish, she used to finish her brother's food off. She's the youngest in her family, by the way.
Yeah.
So my brother-in-law. So when he didn't finish it off, she used to finish it off, and then I think they used to joke around, calling her, "You're like a dustbin. You finish all her food off." So that's the joke.
It's more what's the reason behind it. So, like emotional eating is usually triggered by stress, for example, or like you mentioned earlier about your brother. So suffering. So if you've gone through something, it's a way to just shut yourself off from the problem that you're feeling, whether it's anger, fear, sadness, loneliness, whatever the situation is, and then you kind of use food as a crutch to make yourself feel better.
Okay, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know about my wife, but I know she likes to eat. That's all I can say.
She might just be a foodie then.
Yeah.
A foodie just like, just love to eat, so might be one of those.
But yeah, I know my brother, he eats for comfort reasons, but maybe that's subconscious and he doesn't know why he eats, and that's the trigger, the emotional reason. That's what I can think of.
So it doesn't have to be extreme. Some people see it out of boredom, emptiness that they're feeling. So it's like a void that you're trying to fill with food.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it varies from person to person, isn't it?
I mean, I've done a little bit of research on this, like, so I've gone online, and it's weird because it's kind of funny how the suggestions they give to counteract. So like they say if you're comfort eating, so say for example if you're doing it because you're depressed and lonely, rather than eat a tub of ice cream, go and play with a pet, get yourself a cat or a dog if you don't have one. Look at fun childhood memories. They say if you comfort eat because you're anxious, then maybe get a stress ball to get rid of that extra stress, or go for a brisk walk. If you're just exhausted or tired or bored, then do things that will, sort of fill that void. Maybe take a hot bath with scented candles, go somewhere, watch a comedy show, just to sort of lift your mood, rather than turn to food.
What about social influence? Situations such as Instagram. So people show how food is made.
Yeah, I suppose so. Have you heard of mukbang?
Yeah.
What's that dude called? There's something avocado.
Avocado, yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna-
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was originally was he a
very
vegan?
skinny fellow.
Yeah, was he a vegan or something? I think
It's something like that.
something
yeah,
like that,
I'm not
wasn't he?
sure,
So vegetarian, and then over the years he's been doing his mukbang challenges where you just eat a whole load of crap, and he's just he's made money, but at what cost? He's like I say,
yeah. His own health.
exactly. It's not a problem until it becomes a problem, i.e. health-wise. Like my mate. So my mate didn't just wake up one morning and he's like 16, 17 stones. It was, it took years, but it just, you ignore it. You don't really see it as a problem, like, oh, put on a bit of weight. Okay, I'll deal with it later. And then it just slowly piles on. It gets to a point where it becomes a problem because you've ignored it for so long. Now it's like, it might be alright to lose, a couple of pounds, maybe a stone or two, and then when you're like 5-6 stones overweight, it's a real issue, which is realised now.
I mean, depends on it. There could be other hidden factors there which you don't know of. I mean, it's not just mental. It could be other aspects.
Even because look at most of the world is overweight, especially in the West.
Most people in the West, yeah.
In the West, yeah. Overconsumption of food, and it's because even knowing that unhealthy foods are bad for you, they still turn to them. Again, it's not so much about the food; it's more to do with work stress, financial,
Yeah, but it's a
relationship.
lot easier to get, like takeaway, eat out food and all that in the West. It's a bit maybe difficult. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, no,
assumption,
yeah, obviously, like we said, we did an episode on that as well with the food at the door. The convenience, how it's made it
That's
so convenient now for you to just go in your app, press a
Grab and
button,
go.
and it's there. Someone just
Yeah.
brings your food to you. Once in a while is okay, but it's almost becoming like takeout's like the normal for a lot of people, especially working families where both
Yeah.
parties,
Both
parents are
parents
working. So it's like that dynamic of someone stays home and does the cooking and whatnot. Yeah, so it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but then they have to have an interest as well, isn't it? There's that aspect as well. If you don't really have an interest, then then nobody's going to cook at home. That's one aspect. The other aspect is
No, I don't know. Yeah. So interest aside, it's I get you, and that's right. But it's also health benefits. It's like, especially if you've got kids. So it's like you are what you eat. So you might not be interested. I don't like cooking, but I know if I was a parent, I would try and learn. That's why, if and when I get married, I want someone who can cook. If not, I learn, and I would do it just because I wouldn't want to feed my children takeout.
every day.
5-6 days a week or whatever. It's like
Once in a week is
once
fine.
a blue moon's fine. You don't want to neglect. You don't want to neglect them from that. It is good. I remember as a kid going to McDonald's, and it was like the highlight. Of the week. Yeah, McDonald's. You didn't know any better.
McDonald's. I don't think we had much McDonald's when we were young.
You didn't.
No, not when I was a child. Mostly when I was an adult to a teenager.
For us, bro, that was a treat. It
No.
was a once in a blue moon type thing. So let's get back to the topic at hand.
Bro, stop making my lines.
You've not used it for a while, but yeah. So yeah, let's do that. So
Okay.
you're not a comfort eater, you said. You've never been.
No.
Your brother may.
I don't think I am personally.
Your missus might be. She might be a foodie, but your brother
Yeah.
seems like he is.
Yeah.
And he's been like that since childhood.
Yeah, he's been like that since child. I remember him eating. He likes to eat. I mean, it's not just any specific food. It's not just takeout. He likes to have homemade food as well.
Yeah. So-
again, I think it's emotional more than
Need. Yeah. You could.
Yeah.
You can actually go without food for quite a long time. You know,
Mhm.
people fast. There's actually a thing called intermittent fasting,
yeah.
where people will eat one meal a day, or they'll eat in like a 4 or 5 hour window, and it's supposed to have great health benefits. With this, if it's becoming an issue, obviously seek medical advice and go see what your GP is saying. But some of the stuff that I've come across that could help overcome this issue would be eat foods that could keep you fuller for longer, have a healthy diet, so try not to, like they say, you are what you eat, to try and eat healthier foods, healthy body, healthy mind type of thing.
But
So you
if
can-
it's not just about eating in, it's like what if it's mental?
Yeah, so even on the mental side, they say have positive self-talk, because we're in our heads quite a lot.
Yeah.
So have positive self-talk.
I mean, if you're lonely, then you might need somebody to talk to, friends, I don't know, family members. Everyone's situation is different, and every circumstance is different.
Yeah,
We can't just put one.
you
aspect
can't.
of it
Yeah,
into
you
one
can't
box.
put it under one banner. But there's
Yeah.
tools and techniques. It's always about going to the root of the problems. If you're lonely, i.e. you don't have a partner, you want to have a partner, you should try and do something. That's not going to happen overnight. You might not find someone overnight, but make attempts. And then, like I said, you can hang out with your friends, family, socialize. Like, your root is loneliness. It's not food. So sitting there turning to food, because it's such a mental issue. There's a lot. So it's stress. So de-stress. How can you do that? You can do yoga. You can do meditation, breathing techniques. There's so many other things you can do that would be advantageous to your health rather than detrimental.
I think it's more about keeping yourself occupied in it. You need to do some other activities that you'd enjoy. I don't know. I mean,
You touched on social earlier. Do you think it's the media? You think advertising's got a big part to do with it? Because I'm trying to wonder, why is it that most of the West is overweight compared to the East? Like you got to think about, because everyone has problems. You know, we all live in life. No one's life is perfect. You've got different strokes, different problems. But why is it that we turn to food more than people in the East and the Far East?
money is one aspect I can think of.
Money. Okay, yeah. So money. Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, people have
Abundance,
abundance of money, so they got
food as well.
food
It's
to
everywhere.
grasp on. People with lower income, they don't have enough to eat. They'll struggle, or not saying struggle, but they'll have lesser income to release money on food, so they'll just have limit on what to eat.
Yeah. So it is advertising, I think, even if it's just not on the TV or on the internet. Like impulse buys, you go to the store, they deliberately put, quick, and it's usually unhealthy stuff just there on offer.
Buy
Grab
one, get
it.
one free, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, and you tend to go. I've done that a few times. I've gone to the till. So I'm aware of it now, so I don't do it as much now. But before, I just, it's an offer. I just pick it. I wasn't going for that chocolate or whatever it may be, treat. But no, treat myself. And it's like, why? I wouldn't have normally bought it just because they put it in the till. It actually works, that, and they put it on offer. So, yeah.
Okay, so if someone's going through this situation, you've got any couple of tips or a few tips that you can help our listeners out there?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to be to seek professional medical advice. But just some tips that I came across looking into this matter online would be, try to find the root cause of the problem to fill the emotion. So what's the emotion? What's the problem you're trying to fix or fill with the food? Whether it be loneliness, whether it be boredom, whether it be financial, relationship, stress. To try to fix that rather than just cover it with food.
Mm-hmm. Any others?
And yeah, just like we said before, maybe try and exercise more, eat clean foods, like we say, healthy mind, healthy body.
True.
And
You know,
part of life is stress.
or
So a lot of things come from stress. So try and find ways to de-stress, whether that's chilling out with friends and family, although sometimes they can stress you out more. But or go cycling, yoga, do breathing exercises, swimming, stuff like that, dancing, just stuff that makes you happy, basically.
Okay. Right, Dims. I feel a bit stressed. I think I should go for a jog. You know what? Can't be bothered. I might just go another chicken burger.
No, Sol, you've had too many chicken burgers this week. What have I told you about? Have you been listening? Have you been paying attention? What have I told you about comfort eating?
It's not comfort eating, I'm just hungry.
You're being lazy. Right, put your trainers on. Let's go for a jog around the block. Right, we're off for a jog.
Okay.
And we'll see you guys next week. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us next week at the table for another great episode. Until then, take care and jog on.
See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.